It seems like all everyone is interested in at the moment are crypto gaming projects and crypto gambling projects. And it makes perfect sense. That was the narrative towards the end of the last crypto bull run. And it looks like it's going to be the narrative, or at least one of the narratives, in the upcoming bull run. In this video, I'll be talking about 8 projects which I personally quite like, and I think they will do well in the upcoming months and next couple of years. And it's quite a nice range of projects, from ones which already have quite large market cap or are quite established, they were here in the last bull run, to others which are maybe a bit newer or have much lower market cap, around 50 million or below. So everyone should be able to find something interesting for themselves, regardless of their appetite for risk. I'm Andy, and this is Crypto Like a Pro, a channel where I talk about everything crypto, NFTs, and Web3 related. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll be familiar with at least some of those projects. Some of them, I got into them in mid-2021 or so, and either held them throughout the bear market or sold them and bought back later on. But few of them are new projects which I haven't talked about before. So I will start with Beam, which is one of the newer projects. It only launched a few months ago, but it has already quite high market cap, close to $900 million. And it's also quite important is that its fully diluted market cap is only 1.1 billion. So that's something you need to always consider, especially if you're planning to hold an altcoin for more than a couple of weeks. Because if you're in a bull market, well, you can quickly get in and out of various positions, right? Prices are going up like crazy. So you can get in, do quick 3x, 5x, 10x maybe, and get out. But if you're buying altcoins at this point in time, then you're either hoping for a quick pump, as we've seen quite a few of those over the last few weeks, or essentially trying to be early before the bull run properly kicks in, right? So you're buying now, but you're hoping to make like 10x or 20x gains by the time things are properly in motion in like late 2024 or at some point in 2025 when Bitcoin is hitting new all-time highs and so on. So if you're planning to hold an altcoin for this long, you have to feel really strongly about it because it's an extremely high-risk investment. A lot of people will end up losing money, but those who get it right will have potential of making a shitload of money because essentially they are in really, really early. And the thing to consider here is market cap of a project is of course important because, well, that's how much money is in the project at the moment. But fully diluted market cap takes into account also all the tokens which are currently not on the market. So these are the tokens which belong to, for example, the project team or a lot of early investors. And at various points in time, these tokens are being released to the market. So basically what you don't want to see is a project which has, let's say, market cap of $100 million, but then fully diluted market cap of $1 billion, because it means that there's 10 times more tokens which haven't entered the circulation yet. The closer this number is to this number, the better, because the more predictable the price is in the future. Well, it's not that it's more predictable, but at least that's one thing to take out of the equation, if that makes sense. Anyway, this is one of the reasons why I like this project, because market cap is very close to fully diluted market cap, even though it's still a very young project. I won't be talking about what each of those projects does in a lot of detail, because I think that's where you should do your own research, look into those projects and see what they actually do and whether you think that it's worth getting into them or not. But this is just one which I think it's worth keeping an eye on, or one of the new ones which are worth keeping an eye on. And I think that can comfortably do about 10x or so. However, you have to bear in mind that because it already has a large market cap, it's not going to move very, very fast. So it may take quite a bit of time, and we may be quite deep into the bull run before this will start giving you some proper returns. But definitely one worth keeping an eye on. The next one is Livium, which I think I mentioned it at some point in the past, but certainly didn't talk about it much. And this one has been around for a little bit, since early 2021. So it had this massive spike in the last crypto bull run, close to $2,000 or like $1,900. And then crashed, of course, like most projects, being pretty much flatlining for quite a while. And then in the last month or so, it started moving a little bit more. So from the lows of like $40 or 30 something dollars, it moved up to about $100. The reason why I talk about this project and the reason why I like it is because I think we'll see a lot of projects like this doing really well in the next bull run. Basically, projects that performed very well in the previous bull run and are now showing signs of life. There will be a lot of projects which went down and then just flatlined and are still doing nothing, which are quite a big unknown because they may start picking up or not. But projects which were really well known in the last bull run, and everyone who was into crypto or at least gaming crypto in the last bull run heard about the Livium. Well, people will very likely start buying back into those projects as they're coming back to crypto now. Because when Bitcoin crashed, when the whole crypto market went down, a lot of people basically just checked out. They stopped looking at the charts, they either cashed out their investments or they were just waiting for things to start moving again. But when things start moving, people start coming back. And well, the first thing they look at is either something that's well known, like Bitcoin or Ethereum and stuff like that, or if they have a bit more appetite for risk and they want to invest in altcoins, they'll be looking at altcoins they are familiar with, like, for example, Livium. And this one, well, as we can see from its current price, can easily do 20x just to hit its previous all-time high. So as risky as buying altcoins is at this point in time, I think this is one of the safer strategies, relatively speaking, because we're looking at a project which is A, really well known, and B, well, it's already showing signs of life. So there's very good chance that it will bounce back up. And also we know that it hit almost $2,000 in the previous bull run. So we know that there is a potential to do 20x, even if it's only going to get back to its previous all-time high. So very solid return on your investment. And at least there is some sort of a roadmap you can follow, if that makes sense. Another project which is kind of similar one is Superverse. Previously it was known as Superfarm. It's a project launched by Elio Trades, so very well-known crypto influencer. So of course, a lot of buzz around this project. And again, one of those that did really well in the past, then crashed, and it's picking up very nicely right now. So very similar scenario, project that was well-known in the last crypto bull run, and it's definitely picking up right now. So there's very good chance that it will perform well in the next crypto bull run. And again, because it's tied to a big influencer, well, I talked about this in my previous video, and that's also kind of the theme of this video. We are not trading here proper use cases, services, or technologies. We are mainly trading, when it comes to crypto, we're trading sentiments and narratives. And basically, you just have to look at what people are talking about, what people get excited about, and that's where most likely the money will be made. It's not necessarily always the best project. I'm not saying that this project is not good, but you get the idea. It's not necessarily about the quality of what's behind the project. It's about what people are hyped about. And sometimes the most random things like meme coins will start suddenly going up like crazy. So there's not always a lot of logic to it. You just have to see what people are talking about. And there will be certainly a lot of talk about Superverse. It's been already happening, as you can see, just looking at this move. It went up from let's look at last year. It went up from less than 10 cents to around 70 cents. It's like 7x in, well, something that's still not a proper bull run, right? So yeah, definitely something that's worth keeping an eye on. And I was invested in Superverse in the past, or back then it was Superfarm. So yeah, a project that I'm quite familiar with. CDFI is one that, if you watched my previous videos, you certainly heard about. I was really bullish on it in the previous bull run. I made decent amount of money on it. It's a launch pad. It's a gaming launch pad. So basically, if you hold enough as fund tokens, you can get access to their IGOs, initial game offerings. So basically, you can get new tokens before they come to the market at a really, really low price point. Of course, you can usually get only very small amount of those tokens unless you have a ton of CDFI tokens. But yeah, essentially it allows you to get in at a really, really low price point and make some insane returns. You can watch one of my previous videos when I was talking about one of the projects, Blocktopia, which did like 600x in the first few weeks after launch or days after launch. So of course, not every project will perform so well, but a lot of people want to be in launch pads because potentially you can make huge money there, which makes then those tokens really valuable. So that's why CDFI is performed really well in the last bull run, because everyone wanted to hold, not only buy those tokens, but actually hold them as well, right? Because if you wanted to continue participating in those launch pads, you had to have those tokens in your wallet or stake them. So you couldn't just get into it and then, I don't know, do 2x or 3x on the token itself, sell it and move on to the next thing, because that would then mean that you were no longer eligible to participate in new IGOs. So if you wanted to participate in those IGOs, you had to hold this token. It's a pretty good use case for it. So yeah, I got into it. I don't remember. I think it was around $1 or so, maybe more. And it went all the way up to like $16, $17 and crashed, of course, like most projects. But what's really cool about it is that I didn't sell enough of it at the end of the bull run. That's a mistake I made, but I could stake it. So I increased my position by around 50% just by staking it throughout the whole bear market. So of course, I am incredibly bullish on it because I actually have quite a decent position of it. And again, it's the same story. It started already going up like crazy from lows of around 50 or 60 cents to just over $4 recently. So again, nice 8x even before a proper bull run. And that is one of my favorite projects. I think it can comfortably hit that previous all-time high and potentially go far higher than that. Market cap 200 million, plenty of room to grow. So yeah, like I said, I spoke about this one many times before. No point talking about it even more, but definitely one of my favorites. D-Race, again, a project that a lot of people I'm sure are familiar with. I mentioned it in the past. I still have a position in D-Race. It's a gaming platform, and gambling I think is going to be really big when it comes to crypto. It hit highs of around $8. Now it's going for about 50 cents. It was going for about 15. So again, started showing this little uptick in the last few weeks. So again, very, very similar scenario to the projects I spoke about before. Did well in the last bull run, pretty much flatlined, picking up now again. Should do really well in the next bull run. There is actually the game, there is actually the platform. It exists, it's something that works. And the market cap is tiny, 55 million, 56, let's call it. And fully diluted is under 59. So again, almost 1-to-1 match. So huge potential in this one. Another gaming project from the previous bull run is Mines of Delara. Again, was doing really well, crashed massively. Not quite picking up as much as some of the other ones. Reasonably low market cap, 56 million. I think another one of those projects which are worth keeping an eye on. You may see already a pattern here that a lot of the projects I'm looking at are the projects which I was either invested in the last bull run, or at least I looked into them in the last bull run. Maybe didn't get into them for whatever reason. Maybe the price was already too high. Maybe there was some other reason. But now is the time. It's something I've been talking about throughout the whole bear market. You spend the bear market to prepare for the next bull run. You research the projects. You look into what may potentially do well in the next bull run. And then once things start heating up, you start investing in those projects, or you review them again, see if you still feel equally bullish about them. And well, you either start DCAing into them, or you just buy a position and leave it there, or you decide to give it a pass. But at least you are not completely starting from a blank page and it's like, okay, I want to get into crypto. I have no idea what to buy. Now you already have a list of 10 or 20 projects which you are considering. You're probably not going to buy all of them, but out of those you may pick, I don't know, 5 of your favorites or 3 of your favorites and start putting some money into them and basically see where that takes you, right? Another one of my favorites from the previous bull run is Alura. Again, spoke about it many times in the past. I got into it quite early. I don't remember what was the price, but I think it was somewhere here, and rode all this nice spike. I sold quite a bit on the way up. Should have sold more. Oh well. Still holding quite a bit of it. Of course, then nothing was happening, and recently started picking up really nicely. So yeah, it's another one of those. Did really well in the previous bull run, then pretty much nothing. Now it's picking up nicely. The project is still alive. There are a lot of reasons why it should do well in the next bull run, so I'm really excited about it. I still have, like I said, I still hold quite a fair bit of it, so I'm hoping for this one to do really well. Market cap is really low. Fully diluted market cap, not far from it. So it ticks a lot of those boxes why it could potentially do really well. So yeah, massively bullish on this one. And then the last one I wanted to mention is blockchain bets. Again, something to do with crypto gambling. This one has market cap, again, not far off fully diluted market cap. And it's a low cap, 42 million. It's a relatively new project. It's been around since early this year. Started picking up very nicely recently. Of course, that's because couple of big influencers posted about it and prices started going up. But again, it's one of those projects which tick a lot of boxes. Low market cap, fits the narrative, fully diluted market cap close to the current market cap. A lot of potential there. Now, of course, if you are following a lot of other accounts, especially bigger accounts, you can say, oh, but other crypto influencers on YouTube also talk about those projects. It's like, yeah, that's exactly why it's a narrative, right? You're not trying to do something just for the sake of being original and, I don't know, everyone thinks about crypto gaming and gambling being the next big thing. So you decide, oh, I will go in a completely opposite direction. I mean, sure, you can do it, but the money will go where the narrative points it to, right? So you want to make sure that you are familiar with those projects and basically pick your favorites based on whatever strategy works for you or whatever you think is behind the project, whatever you think will drive the price. And it can be, I don't know, big influencer on the team, or the fact that project did really well in the last bull run and you now expect it to do the same. Maybe they have new, I don't know, platform game, whatever, something coming up soon. There can be many different reasons why you are bullish on it. But essentially from those hundreds of projects, thousands probably, you need to pick the ones which you feel the strongest about. These are some of my favorites. I'm not telling you to invest in those. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. These are just the projects I like. Like I said, some of them, I held them since 2021. Some of them, I only got interested in them very recently. I think it's a nice spread of various projects within the same niche. And I think that's the most important thing in this video. Look at the niche which will likely perform well. At the moment, there is a lot of buzz around crypto gaming and gambling, but there may be few different types of projects that perform well once the bull run comes, because there will be plenty of money to go around, or narrative may change, as it did in the last bull run. In the early stages, it was all about DeFi, then moved to Cardano and banking the unbanked and so on. Then it all moved towards crypto gaming, and eventually we had a massive NFT bull run. The money will flow from one thing to another. It's not just one thing that will do really well. But yeah, find the narrative and then start looking at the projects you like and look at the good spread of projects. Don't just go all in on one thing because it may or may not work out. If you find 3, 5, 10 projects and put something in all of them, well, you have much better chances of average working out well for you, right? Because you have some larger cap projects, you have some more established ones, you have some completely new ones. Some of them will be higher risk, some of them will be slightly lower risk, but overall, they should give you pretty good chance of increasing your portfolio quite nicely. Or you can start with larger cap projects, and once they start going up, start rolling your profits into smaller ones. You can look at other blockchains. People generally, when they come to crypto, they are familiar with Bitcoin, Ethereum, so they know how to use those blockchains. So a lot of people will be doing a lot of their trading on Ethereum. I mean here the whole blockchain, not just ETH as an altcoin. Not everyone will be familiar with bridging assets to different blockchains, even though this is now much, much easier than it was in the last bull run. But still, a lot of people will not necessarily know how to do it, or at least not initially. A lot of people will not want the cost of bridging assets and so on. So look at other blockchains beyond Ethereum, beyond Binance Smart Chain, and see what gaming projects are building on those blockchains, because there will be probably a lot of potential to make money there. So yeah, there are many different ways you can play it, but now you should definitely have some sort of strategy in place. And if you don't have one yet, you should be definitely working on it, because things, in my opinion, will start moving quite rapidly very, very soon. I mean, the last few weeks already showed it, right? We had a lot of action and a lot of potential to do those 5x or 10x gains even now. Just imagine how things will be moving in a proper bull market. And if you will wait until then to start actually working out your strategy and your moves in crypto, you'll be always one step behind, and you will either end up losing money because you'll be getting into projects when others are selling them, or you will be not maximizing your potential because, again, you'll be just always one step behind. So I think that's it in this video. It's already a bit longer than I was expecting it to be. If you're relatively new to crypto, I'll be making a full crypto playbook ready for 2024. So I'll be launching it some point between Christmas and New Year. So definitely subscribe to the channel and check it out once it's launched. As always, if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments section, and I will then either try to answer them or I will try to answer them in one of the next videos. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.